Hi friends, and welcome to another video. Today I'm bringing you my end of year, start of 2025 Wip Parade. If you don't know, my name is Shannon. I make book content, cross-stitch content, and I've just recently started getting into crochet, so there may be some crochet content as well. Essentially, my channel is a place for me to record my hobbies, record what I'm loving, what I'm hating, what I'm doing. Um, I essentially think about my YouTube channel as a time capsule for myself when I'm older, and I can look back on all of these things that I've done and enjoyed. So if you like books, if you like cross stitch, if you like crochet, if you like just a little bit of chaos, then welcome. I am happy to have you. I hope I can inspire you to stitch on your next project. I hope that I can keep you company while you stitch on your projects. I hope that you can enjoy my content while you enjoy your hobbies. And I'm so grateful and happy to have you here. I'm going to get right on into this. I don't actually know how many projects I've got. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We're on 15 projects, 15 whips, which is work in progress if you don't know. We're working on 15 projects, 15 whips, work in progress if you don't know what that means. And I am very comfortable at 15. I think I want to start finishing things now before I add anything to my whip list. There will be a 2025 new start because if you don't know, I posted a flosstube wish list and I let yous decide what I would start in 2025. And the grand winner of this was Rose Library. I'm so excited that this won. This has been something that has caught my eye for a while now. I've bought the chart. I'm going to kit it up. I don't know when I'm going to start it. I think I'll hold off a little bit just to see if I can finish some of my smaller projects before I introduce a new full coverage. But I'm excited. I'm really excited, and I'm excited to show all of these whips. I leave on screen everything you need to know: the start date, how much I've stitched, where I bought the pattern from, the name of the pattern, what I'm stitching it on. Like, everything will be on screen and what the finished project will look like. So if you are interested in any of these, then you can just pause and take note of the pattern that takes your eye. I have tried to put these into start date order. If I mess up, I apologize, but all my start dates will be on screen. And we're just going to get right on into it because I am ready. I'm ready to look through all of these, and I'm so excited to share them with you. The first project I have here is Firefly by Amy Stewart, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. This is a mini, and I started this on the 31st of July 2022. Oh god, that feels so long ago. Did I start crocheting, cross-stitching in 2022? Wow. Wow, it does not feel like I've been cross-stitching that long. I still feel very new to this. Wow, time just flies, doesn't it? So I have 10,098 stitches on this for a total of 14.25%. Excuse the mucky fabric. This is what we are looking like. I originally had this, well, I actually put this on timeout because when I started this, I was new and I wasn't 100% certain on how a mini would look. And one of my lovely viewers commented and gave me the absolute brilliant idea to look on Heaven and Earth's gallery to see people have finished it. And I did that. And I don't know if I like the finished look because it still looks a bit murky. But I have so much done on this. And the detail that I'm getting from this part so far is actually lovely. So now I'm split. I think I may take this out of timeout in 2025. I'm not saying I will right now. I'm just going to leave it up to future Shannon to decide at some point. But I don't want to waste 14% of a full coverage. And I don't know if I would want to stitch all this again in a regular size. And I prefer the size of the mini. So this is a in timeout project that may come out of timeout in 2025. If you don't know, I love Amy Stewart's artwork. I really love her artwork. So this won't be the only Amy Stewart that I stitch. And I need to keep that in mind. So this is the first project I ever started. And it's well, yeah, it's a big one. It's a big one for the first one I ever started. And I don't know what to do with this yet. So hopefully follow along in the journey of 2025 of me trying to figure out what I want to do with this. The next pattern, the next whip, is Until We Are Dust by Night Spirit Studio. This is a paper chart, so I don't have any numbers. I started this on the 17th of November 2022, and this is how we are looking. I do have a hanging thread. Please excuse the hanging thread, but this is how she is looking. I think this pattern is just so cute, and if I actually worked it, I would have this done in no time. I need to pick it up. And again, it's maybe because it's a paper pattern that it's taken me longer to pick up, but I do really love it, and it's going to be so cute when it's done that I need to get stitching on it, to be honest. This is probably a contender for something I would finish in order to start something new. So if I finish this, I will allow myself a new start, because 15 whips is a very comfortable space for me. I don't want to have any more than 15, and I'm trying to stick to my guns on that, so it forces me to finish things before I add new things into my rotation. The next whip is A Little Bit of Magic by Stitcherovia on Etsy, and I started this on the 27th of February 2023. I have done 4,523 stitches. I'm now at 50.03%, and this is how we're looking. You can tell that I didn't know 100% what I was doing because the margins. This side is like a normal margin. This side's way too big. So I don't know what I was going for there, but it's going to be enough margin regardless to finish this piece. So I'm not too worried about it. As long as I have enough to work with on the edges, then it doesn't really matter. And this is River Hut Design fabric. You will start to see that I am obsessed with their fabrics, and this is just so cool. I cannot wait to finish this. This would definitely be something that I would either create to be a hanging or put in a frame so that I can display it around October time. Like, this would go up all of October. To be honest, I'm very much a spooky person all year round, so it doesn't necessarily need to be October, but it would be a good thing to have on rotation for an October decoration. The next project I have here is Mordor by Silver X Stitches. I started this on the 17th of May 2023. I have 3,081 stitches for a total of 2.63%. I have hanging threads on this, so please just excuse the hanging threads. This is how we are looking. And if you don't know, I have 3 of these posters, and I plan to stitch them all so that I can have a 3-piece Lord of the Rings set. So we would have Mordor, Lothlorien, and the Hobbitation. I'm not allowed to start any of the other posters until I get at least a quarter of the way through this poster. This is 117,000 stitches, so a quarter of the way is going to take me forever. But I'm excited because I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see these come to life, honestly. And like, by the time I get all 3 of them done, I may be old, but then that's fine because I will be old and enjoying the fruits of my labor. And Lord of the Rings is something that I will never not be a fan of. It's absolutely amazing. I adore it. And having these 3 pieces framed and hanging as a centerpiece would be just the dream. I love it. So I have a long way to go. I am literally not even 3% of the way through this. I have a long way to go. I really need to work on this one because I really want that 3-piece set. It would be so cool. I don't really have a system to how I store my projects. I bought a pack of these just like button folders and it fits an 11 by 7 Q-snap perfectly. I also put my smaller ones. I am a subscriber of Fairy Loot, which is a book box subscription. The cloth bags that the books come in, I reuse for smaller projects. So if they don't have something like this, they're normally in something like this. Will I eventually buy project bags? Yeah, maybe. I could see me buying project bags. The only thing is like, if I'm buying stuff, now that I'm in a situation where I don't want to add any more than 15 whips, and I have 15 whips, then it would probably be good now to start putting them into project bags gradually, because I don't want to go over 15. 15 is more than enough, and it forces me to like start finishing things before I add things. I hope I stick to this. But now that I'm like in the mindset of I have enough whips, I want to see things finished before I add any like unneeded pressure onto my hobby, then it would be maybe good to buy project bags for things. Because if I know that I'm only going to stick to 15 whips, then I only need 15 project bags. Only. Next we have Wood Witch. Raven Stitchcraft. I will leave it on screen. I can't remember the name of the designer of this. This is, I started this on the 17th of November 2023. I have 1,196 stitches for a total of 6.94%. And this is how we're looking. This is a monochrome piece. Again, this is a hand-dyed fabric from River Hut Design on Etsy. And I started creating these boxes in the hopes that it would make things easier for me when I return. So I come in, I fill in some boxes, I create more boxes, and it's kind of like a grid without gridding, because I don't really want to grid this fabric. This is one of my, it was meant to be one of my easier pieces. It was meant to be one color, like one needle, and off we go. And then I messed up somewhere here and it took a minute to find it. So now with this gridding idea, I feel like I'm on better footing with this one. And I cannot wait to see this come through because of the color of the fabric and because it's monochrome, all the parts that aren't stitched, you're going to see a different shade, a different color. And I just think it's going to make it look so magical. And I'm so excited to see this one have progress. Next here we have Stranger Things versus Nightmare on Elm Street. This was from Tilton Crafts. It was a limited edition, so I'm not sure if it's still available or not. But I'll still leave all the information on screen. I started this on the 19th of July 2023. I have 4,646 stitches for a total of 3.79%. And this is how we're looking. I'm so hyped because right here, like in this section here, you start to see the brim of Freddy Krueger's hat coming in. Now, this piece kind of works perfectly for me because I'm a huge horror fan, and Nightmare on Elm Street was like, it wasn't my start into horror. The Scream franchise was my start into horror, which is why I have such nostalgic love for it, because it was the first horror films that I watched and really enjoyed, and then I went on to Nightmare on Elm Street. So Nightmare on Elm Street is like an homage to my starting out of love of horror, and then Stranger Things was something that I was really intimidated by because everyone loved it, and I just didn't know if I was going to love it as much. Ended up absolutely adoring it, and the two Nancys, Vecna and Freddy, just makes, like, it tickles a part of my brain that I really enjoy. And this is a fun Stitch for me. This is nostalgia mixed with a newfound love, mixed with my love for spooky things, my love for horror, and a new TV show. I cannot wait for the new season of Stranger Things. I need them to do it justice. And I will probably be rewatching. I'll probably go back and rewatch running up to the release of the new one, because I do that sometimes with like shows that are shorter seasons. It's the same with like You. We're getting You soon. I'll probably go back and watch all of them, and for the new one, and then Yellow Jackets as well. I can't wait for that to come back. So that was a total tangent, but this is a very fun project for me. I love stitching on it, and I can't wait to see Freddy Krueger come to life. I will hopefully be focusing on Freddy Krueger's face in 2025 so we can see something come into this pattern. Next here we have a hodgepodge of patterns. These are the Creepmas creatures from the Witchy Stitcher. These were available on her Patreon in 2023. Instead of stitching them individually, I picked the ones I liked and decided to stitch them like all together. So I don't have numbers on this, simply because it's 6 different patterns, and I am thinking about doing a border around each of the patterns, and then I can frame this and have this up at Christmas as a like spooky Christmas moment, because like who doesn't love that spooky, like the little caroling ghosts and the spooky oh god, the spooky snow. Like, this is definitely a vibe, and I could finish this quite easily. I just need to pull it out and actually do it. I have 3 more patterns to go, and then I can decide if I want a border around them, and if I don't, then I can just throw it in a frame and it will be a Christmas decoration. So hopefully I can get this done by the end of the year, and I can actually put this up on my shelves for Christmas 2025. The next pattern I have here was my birthday start for 2024. My birthday is on Boxing Day. Well, 2023. My birthday's on Boxing Day, so I started this on the 26th, 2023. And this is Open Your Heart by Stitchrovia. I have 2,402 stitches for a total of 18.19%. And this is how we are looking. Again, River Hut Designs fabric. I love this. Like, filling this in is so satisfying because it's quite blocky in color. It kind of feels like I'm coloring in, and it just brings so much joy to my brain. So I'm just stitching on this whenever I feel like it. I feel like this is more an easy stitch, and it probably is something that I could finish quite quickly if I just stuck it out. And that's why I like having, you know, a mix of smaller projects and full coverage projects, because I really am drawn to full coverage, but I can't just stitch on full coverage because then I'll never finish anything ever. So having these smaller projects means that I can stitch on something and get the satisfaction of finishing something while stitching on my year-long projects. The next pattern was my 2024 New Year New Start. So I started this on the 1st of January 2024. I have 3,641 stitches for a total of 3.69%. Oh, did I say this is No Time Like the Present by Modern Folk Embroidery? This was their 2024 style. I wasn't planning on keeping up with it, but I love my color choices. So I have like this fuchsia pink fabric, and I picked teal and grey to go with it. I think it's showing pretty true to color, but this is a big piece of fabric. It is huge. I'm so obsessed with the color. I'm so obsessed with the colors that I chose for this. Like, isn't that just beautiful? I think this is going to be amazing when it's done. I have no idea what I would do with this once it's done, but that's the future me's problem. Stitching on this has been so much fun. So much fun. I need to get back to this one because it just, again, similar to Open Your Heart, these like tickle my brain because this is like 2 colors. So it feels like it goes really quickly. And then Open Your Heart feels like a coloring book. It just tickles a very, very specific part of my brain. My experimental whip. So I Seen Dreams by Genovia Art, charted by Heaven and Earth Design. Instantly fell in love and wanted to stitch it so bad that I bought everything and started it. But I wanted to try something new. So this is actually on 22 count. Most of my things are on 18 count. This is on 22 count. I wanted to try tent stitch. So this is 22 count tent stitch. I have 3,785 stitches for a total of 10.63%. The only thing is this is my problem child. I definitely think I still have hanging threads, so I do apologize. I started this and it was going really well. I maybe, like, I know that I shouldn't have gridded this with pencil now. I did though, thinking that it'll wash out. So right in this blue area here, you can see that there's lines. And I can't tell if the lines are because I am stitching over pencil or if it's the way that I'm stitching the tent stitch. So my idea was to continue working right along and to the area where I don't have grid lines, where I don't have pencil lines, stitch in some light colours and see if I'm getting the same lines. And just hope that this washes out later on, right? Like, in the grand scheme of things, if the issue is the pencil and it doesn't wash out, when this whole thing is done, you're not going to look to this little corner and be like, oh, you can see a little bit of grid lines. But I want to see if the issue is the grid lines or if the issue is how I'm stitching. And I'm also worried that if I keep going, like, will it warp? Like, tent stitch is a huge worry for me. Like, I like the idea of it. I like the idea of half cross because it goes quicker and you get to see more progress. But is it going to be too difficult? Like, because you need to make sure that you're not getting column lines or any kind of lines. You need to make sure that your tension is pretty good all the way throughout because it'll warp if it's not. Is it worth it? I'm not sure. So my thought process for this year was come over here where there's no pencil lines, or down here where there's no pencil lines. Go somewhere, maybe here actually, because that'll lead still into the lighter colors. Come down here where there's no pencil lines and see if I can see the lines that this is creating. If I can, then it means it's my stitching that's the problem. If I can't, then I can decide to continue this in tent stitch. If not, once I'm finished this experiment here, if I don't feel like the tent stitch is working for me, I can then start filling this in 1/1 full cross. Because you're not going to notice the difference, I don't think. It's just that one corner. So this is my experimental whip, which I'm a little bit sad about. Where did I put? Oh. I'm a little bit sad about because I love the pattern. Like, it's just beautiful. It's stunning. I love the colors. I love it. So I'm really hoping that I can figure this one out in 2025. I keep saying that I'm gonna, and then I keep not doing it. So hopefully 2025 will be the year that I actually do it. The next whip was an absolute failure for me in 2024. I obviously discovered crochet. So I started crocheting, which took my time away from cross stitch. Because read, crochet, cross stitch, try to fit it all in and like work and, you know, everyday life. Something's got to give. And I was crocheting a lot of Christmas gifts for my loved ones, so I didn't put a lot of time into cross stitch in the last few months of the year, which I should have been doing for this project because this was meant to be a gift for my great aunt. So my goal this year on this is to definitely finish it for December so that I can give her it this year for Christmas. This is Stag Head number 2. I started this on the 23rd of February 2024. I have 1,003 stitches for a total of 2.85%. And this is how we are looking. Again, this is another River Hut Designs fabric. And I just, like, it's going to be so nice when it's done. But the issue with this one is that there's a lot of gaps in the stitching. So you don't really clear cut stitch because there's a lot of, like, confetti stitches going into the antlers. And, like, there's confetti stitches where you don't think there's going to be any. Like, see this eye area? This eye area is completely finished. But there's still some of the fabric showing through. So it's, like, not full coverage in any part, really. Like, there's full coverage parts, but it's not full coverage stitching, if that makes sense. So my goal for this is definitely to stitch on it. It is 35,200 stitches big. So if I can, like, take away what I've stitched and then divide it by 12 months, then I'll know exactly how much I need to stitch on it in order to have it done by December. It is something that I would very much like to do, and all that's holding me back is time and my willpower to not want to pick up everything all the time. The next one is yes, this one. I think it's this one. No, it's not. It must be this one. This is Unicorn by Caroline Manning. I started this on the 8th of August 2024. I have 1,583 stitches for a total of 5.74%. And it is still in a hoop, but I didn't want to take it out of the hoop because it's, like, it's really snugly in there. To the point where I like stitching on it. This is fun. This is, like, coloured in, similar to Open Your Heart. This just tickles a part of my brain I really like. The only thing is with this is there's colours, like, right here, just above my finger, right in this diagonal. There's 2 colours that when they're side by side, they look kind of muddy, which is kind of annoying, but I'm going to trust the designer. I'm going to put my faith in the designer and hope that when the whole piece is done, it'll all come together and be fine. This is another River Hut design fabric. I told you, I'm obsessed. But this is just one I pick up whenever I want, but I did have the start of a rotation going where I stitched on this on Monday for Caroline Manning Monday. I think I'm going to continue that in 2025. I will have another video out soon of my 2025 rotation and plans, because I think I want to take part in Whip Go. I've already made my board, but I haven't looked at the numbers that have been called. I think I want to take part in Whip Go. I think I want to stick to a rotation. I don't want to start anything new until I finished at least one thing. And, like, there's just little things that I want to touch on. So I will be taking out a 2025 plans goals video. So if you're interested, then subscribe and hit the bell, because that will be out in the near future. The next project. This was the first kit I ever bought myself, and I'm so excited to see this come to life. This is Witcher. I started this on the 21st of September 2024. I have 748 stitches for a total of 2.818%. And it looks like this. This is literally just the hilt of his dagger, sword. And I'm so excited. I cannot wait to see Geralt's face come into this. And, like, this was a on the whim kind of purchase, because I love The Witcher, but we're obviously not getting Henry Cavill as the new season, which I'm so pissed about. So when I seen this on Thread Geeks, I bought this from. When I seen this on ThreadGeeks, it was on their budget kits. So I think this cost me like 35 quid for the whole kit. And I seen this one and I was like, it would be so cool to do Geralt, just because Geralt in my mind, like Henry Cavill is the only Witcher that makes sense to me now, and I'm doing this in protest of him not being the Witcher anymore. This is my protest. I'm gonna have a big, massive ass portrait of Henry Cavill as Geralt in protest of him not being in the next season of the show. And the second to last whip, we're going through them now, is Bookshelf, Temperature Bookshelf by, I don't know who it's by. I started this on the 18th of October 2024. I have 1,016 stitches for a total of 6.37%. And this comes with a caveat, because this is a temperature chart, so every book in the chart is a temperature range that you stitch in. But instead of doing that, I'm stitching my pages red every day. So one book has a page range dedicated to it, and if I read those pages, I stitch it in. It'll make sense when I show. So this is how we are looking. I really need to start working in the frame more, because I'm now nervous because I'm starting the books but I don't have much frame. So, for example, this 2 books at the start are my no read days. I haven't finished stitching them because I cut my lengths really weird and they didn't finish a whole book. Well, a whole 2 books. So I'm going to be stitching on this throughout the year. This should be a 2025 finish, because ideally I will stitch in the frame, stitch in my pages red once a week. Hopefully I will track all my pages throughout the week, and then at the weekend I will stitch them in and then stitch a bit of the frame at the same time, so that I'm constantly staying on the frame. I'm very excited for this. I cannot wait. This is the butt of a cat right here. I changed some things. This was more like a gothic chart. I changed it. I'm using Hickory Sticks Colorworks for the dark woodwork. I'm using a lighter brown. I'm making it cottagecore. I want it to be like more cottagecore than gothic, so, which is interesting because like I love gothic, but I wanted this to be a bit more gothic, a bit more cottagecore, a bit cutesy. So I will be stitching on this all year long. Be prepared to see this project all the time. I suppose while I'm here I could maybe show my color palette. There we go. That works out so much better. Okay. Right. So, here we have it. This, from this end, this is my no pages red. Then next to that we have 1 to 50. Then 51 to 100. 101 to 150. 151 to 200. 201 to 250, 251 to 300, and then this last one here is 301 plus. So this is my color palette to go along with my page tracker that I'm hoping is giving cutesy cottagecore vibes. So that is that. Again, that'll be something that you will hopefully see often in this year, so that if you're seeing it often, it means that I'm keeping up with it and I'm doing what I should be doing, which is exactly what I need. So that is that. We have Santa's house. This is part of Cottage, what is it? The Cottage Garden Samplings Fabulous Houses, and I have a few that took my interest. I decided to start Santa's house because I started this, when did I start this? The 31st of October? Okay. This is a paper pattern, so I don't have any information about my stitches. I think these are so cute, and I want to do them all on the same piece of fabric, the same size, cut them so they all fit in the same frame so that I can rotate through the ones that I like per season. So Santa's house would be one that I show in December. And I don't have a lot stitched on this. This is a very little start, but I am enjoying it. I'm new to working with classic colorworks. It's kind of a variegated floss, and it's interesting. I'm enjoying it, and it just goes a little bit slower, obviously, because I'm working from a paper pattern. And what I really need to do is I need to make a photocopy of the paper pattern so that I have a working copy, because at the minute I don't want to mark up the original copy because I can maybe like give it away or, you know, like keep it. I'm not sure if I don't mark it up. So I plan on doing a few of these. At this precise minute, I think the ones that I'm looking at doing are I have, what one do I have? So I have Santa's house, and I have, what one's this? It's number 4. It's just the cottage. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. I have the cottage. I think I want to do the fairy house, the greenhouse, the tree house. I don't know. There's a few I want to do, and they'll have like dedicated seasons. So in December, Santa's house will go up. I think cottage is going to be summer. The greenhouse will be spring. Fairy house will be autumn, but I think I may do haunted house so that I could have that up in October. So essentially I want to stitch, this is the wrong thing because that was I gave it to a friend to restart Move Forward in Love, and I will be restarting that at some point, so ignore that. Yeah, so I want to essentially stitch these so that I can have one frame and I can file through them as the seasons or the months align. And that is it. That is my 15 whips. I hope you enjoyed this video. I would love to know if you're stitching any of these projects. Let me know down below. I'd love to know if any of them have caught your eye, your plans, your goals for 2025. Do you have any goals for stitching in 2025? Let me know in the comments. I am so excited. I feel renewed at the start of the year, so hopefully I will come back with my goals video, and hopefully I will stick to them throughout the year. I'm optimistic, and that's all we can be sometimes. So yeah, that is all I have for you today. Thank you so very much for watching. Remember to stay safe, happy, and healthy, and I will see you next time. Bye.